The NBA's new 4-team tournament-style format for the 2025 All-Star Game is expected to have 2 semifinal games played up to 40 points. Interesting. With the winners advancing to the final matchup up to 25 points, sources told ESPN. The NBA is introducing a first-of-its-kind event resembling high-stakes pickup games. Sources told ESPN the league will feature 3 All-Star teams of 8 players each, along with the winner of the Rising Stars game battling it out for All-Star Game supremacy. Do I have Big Perk here?
Oh, goodness.
Big Perk, this is a lot for me to follow, by the way. I know, I'm coming to you. I'm just thinking about what I was just reading, and it's a lot's happening. Essay, do you like the new All-Star Game changes?
I hate it. It's a complete waste of time. I abhor it. I think it's an insult and it's a disgrace to pioneers who have helped elevate the NBA product to what it is. I think it's a blemish on NBA players. I personally have no interest in even being there, and I never speak against the NBA this way. I'm not where I am in my life if it were not for the NBA. The NBA has done wonders for me, and I don't blame the league office for this at all. Kendrick Perkins, Shannon Sharp, y'all are both former professional players. Y'all know what I'm about to say. This is on the players, man. And I've said this on 1,000 occasions, and I've said this on 1,000 occasions, and I'll say it again. This is the ultimate indictment against the NBA players. They play harder practicing in the summer league. Now, what possible excuse could you have for playing harder practicing amongst your...
Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back. Just Simply Sports here with me. I am Kaja, the white on white, minus the fro. The fro is just doing its own thing today, you guys. So do not judge me too harshly, okay? If you are new here, I welcome you. Like, subscribe. Please leave a comment. I love to engage. If you're not new, you've been here. As always, I do appreciate you. This NBA All-Star thing, it just seems like as the years go, it just goes down. It's not fun to watch, like you want to watch it because you want to see all your favorite players playing together, in one game. There's an element of excitement for that. I'm sure for the people who fly in and rent out hotels and spend their hard-earned money to go watch, Jason Tatum and Steph Curry and LeBron and, everybody all at one time. They do all that, and then the players just seem like they don't really care. I believe Ant-Man said it's kind of like was it a weekend off or some time off, something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Don't quote me, but it was something that he said last year. Well, we don't really come here to play. But I'm just like, well, why are you doing it? So this new All-Star game, pickup style tournament, I'm just gonna play some more before I give you my honest thoughts, because this to me is I feel like it just needs to stop.
Selves in the summer league than you are in an exhibition game where stars descend from all over the country, if not all over the world, to come and watch you play in an exhibition. No, you don't have to go at each other like you do in the regular season. You don't have to go at each other like you do in the playoffs, but you could show some semblance of effort. They don't do it. They haven't given a damn about the NBA All-Star. And Adam Silver and the NBA league office has tried everything, conversations with everybody and their grandmother about modifying this, because he has spoken out against it. Former players have spoken out against it. Hall of Famers have spoken out against it. Hell, Chris Paul was the executive director of the president of the Players Association. And when he was there in that position, he spoke out against it. It's embarrassing. And the fact that they have to go through this just to gain...
Look, side note, I don't know if it's just me, but every time Kendrick Perkins is on, I swear he's always breathing so hard. Even if he's not on camera, you can always hear him breathing like Michael Myers or something. I'm like, why is he always breathing so heavy? It's so distracting. It's what's that?
Interest is the ultimate indictment against players who are paid generational money, and you can't show up for an all-star game to show a modicum of effort. It's a disgrace.
Stephen, I don't disagree with one thing that you said. Is it asking too much for you guys to show a little interest? I'm not saying you got to play like it's Game 7. Hell, I'm not even saying you got to play like it's Summer League. But you got to give us more than this. 200 points in an NBA game when everything is a three or done. Nobody shouldn't see no 3-18, no 3-8 players split up and do. Come on, man. Y'all doing too much. Problem with the league. And Adam Silver, in my opinion, is the best commissioner in sports. If anybody feel otherwise, we could debate that for another day. He has done everything in his power to make guys compete, right? You think about over the past 5 seasons, the problem is this. Let me say this. This generation of players are spoiled and soft, okay? Adam Silver in the NBA has put in the in-season tournament, they put in the play-in tournament, and now they're reconstructing the All-Star game, right? Because guys are not competing. And it is an indictment on all the players. It has nothing to do with the people that's in the front office.
You know what? I'm just going to stop it right there and just get to what I have to say. I want to make sure I heard from Stephen A. and, KP, being that, obviously he is a former NBA player, won a championship with the Celtics. And then, we know who Uncle Shay Shay is, right? 3-time, Super Bowl winner, of course, amongst many, many other things. Now, I'm not a professional athlete. But when it comes to effort, that is something that I'm always going to give just in my daily life with, what I do and, how I live my life. I believe that everybody should always give their absolute best. Now, I know when it comes to the All-Star game, it's different because these guys have very long seasons. They play 82 games, and that's prior to the playoffs. I get it. You don't want to injure yourself, in a dunk contest and things like that. So from the standpoint of, look, we have a long season, we don't want to hurt ourselves in the All-Star because at the All-Star, you kind of come out and go on that strong, playoff push, for the seeding and things like that. But what I will say is that I'm not going to say that Adam Silver is a bad commissioner. I will say that I don't think it's that the NBA is soft. I think that he's soft. I feel like he's trying to appease the players and trying to do everything to get them to show a little bit of effort. And that needs to stop. Why, as a commissioner, are you trying to dangle a carrot, for them, so to speak, to want to show the tiny bit of effort when they are paid millions? These are not players, in the All-Star game who are sitting on the far end of the bench who we never see on the court or who come on the court for 30 seconds when the game is pretty much over and that's that. We're talking about the John Morants, the Steph Currys, LeBrons, the Anthony Davises, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, all these different stars, that we see. It's an All-Star game. Joker, all these Luka, all these stars are together on one court playing a game. And nobody there is making, less than, everybody is making millions. I just said that. You're making millions. Why does someone need to throw in an in-season tournament? Okay, so we'll get $500,000 to the winning team, it's every player on that team. For those who don't really touch the court, who don't really make the same kind of money as LeBron or Ant-Man, I get it, Jason Tatum, it's different for them. But for those who do make the millions, who are part of the All-Star game and who have the endorsements, it's different for them. That $500,000 is not going to necessarily move them the way it would move somebody else. But I feel like it's too much appeasing. I'm starting to feel like it's a bit of almost entitlement with this younger, I'm going to say, generation of NBA players. They come out, they compete, in the season, especially when playoffs come, they take it up a notch. The in-season tournament was fun to watch. I felt like they played harder, obviously, because it was money involved. But at this point, I feel like this younger generation kind of, in a sense, forgot what it was like to be a fan now that you're in a different position in life. What was it like for you when you were growing up watching your favorite player, when you were watching Kevin Durant, you were watching Steph, watching LeBron, sitting there with your jersey or at the basketball court, one day hoping to be them, play like them. And now that you're there, you kind of forgot what that journey was like. You kind of look, I'm making my money. I'm good. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't really want to practice. I don't really want to be in a dunk contest. I dunk enough in the season. It's entitled. Can we get back to what it feels like to be a fan? What it feels like to look at your favorite player and idolize them, on TV, on social media. And then you go to a game, your parents save up or you save up, you miss that car payment or, you borrow money from your parents or whatever, maybe you save up, check, eat all your checks, and then you come there, you fly in or you drive, gas, get a hotel, you and your friends or just you by yourself, and then you come there and it's like no one's really dunking. The skills challenge is a joke. No, the thing, who was it? I think it was an Ant-Man that threw up a shot with his left hand that wasn't even close, like to even going in. It was like just like you out there practicing, just shooting around with the boys. This is supposed to be a skills challenge. Like show some skill. You know what I mean? Like take some pride in the situation. And I blame Adam Silver because I understand what he's trying to do. I get it. But at some point there has to be like a line in the sand where it's like, okay, like this is not going to work anymore. You're paid millions. We are asking you to come and to show up and give a little bit of effort. It should not be this hard. And I feel like Adam Silver needs to stop with the appeasing and trying to be nice, and find nice things and okay, I'll give you this if you give me a nice dunk, and I'll give you this money if you're willing to do this. Like, come on, like stop it. Like let's get to the contracts. You know what I mean? Like there should be something in these contracts now going forward. It is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna like not really show up, and give our best or at least a little bit of effort. If we can't even give a little bit of effort for the fans to have a good time, to make it enjoyable, then in the contract, you know what? They'll take some incentives. I don't know. Take some incentives away. Do something different with the incentives. Maybe the ownership should start cutting back on how much they're paying these players. Because this shouldn't be. I don't like this all-star game pickup style. So honestly, I don't even understand it. It's complicated to me. Like Shannon said, like y'all are doing way too much. Like let's just keep the main thing the main thing. These are my ideas. This is what I said last season. I'm saying for the All-Star game, the main event, let's line up the Europeans versus the American players. We're gonna have the Steph on one side, LeBron, KD, the Ant-Mans, and who else? Jason Tatum, and the list goes on. Against the Jokers, the SGAs, Jamal Murray, Joel Embiid, the Luka, this. I would love to see, because they play in Olympics, they play against one another. I would love to see it in the NBA format. I also would love to see a dunking contest where you have people who come in who play basketball on the street. Let's see them fare up against NBA players, because you have plenty of young men who would love an opportunity to show what they have on the All-Star format. And you have some men outside who can really low-key dunk, maybe high-key dunk. Let's line them up, have a tryout, and maybe in New York, that's a big market, is where I'm at, and in California, those two markets, that's it, we're going to have the first 100 people line up, outside, come and give us your best dunk, and we're going to choose, 5 players from the West Coast and the East Coast, and let's do like a amateur, dunk contest or skills challenge, because a lot of people who have skill, they just don't have the platform to showcase that skill. Let's do something like that. I think they will show up because this is a platform and they have a chance to showcase what they have. Well, how about some G League players come out and participate in the skills challenge? I think we already have some of those, but I'm just saying, some college, like the Cooper Flags, the Ace Baileys. I don't know, just something that's a little bit more appeasing and fun to watch. Let's have people who really are going to be a part of it, who really, really care. But let's just stop with the dangling of the carrot and trying to be nice. And it's giving, entitled. And look, I make my millions. I'm not going to do this. I'm just here so I don't get fined, so to speak. Like, come show some pride. What do you guys think, though, about this whole NBA All-Star game? What are your ideas? Do you have any? Let me know in the comments. If you don't have your own, what do you think about mine? I would love to hear it. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Make sure you watch some NFL football while you stuffing your food. I'm sorry. While you stuffing your food. What am I talking about? Here am I thinking about food, right? While you're stuffing your belly, stuffing your face. Have a great, wonderful time with your family. Be safe. And of course, I will see you in the next video.